Alright, in this video, we are continuing. Okay, in the last video we got rid of the svelte for the menu overlay. Yes, we did. Inline start, yeah, we added these buttons to full screen UI texture. VR start, okay, so I don't think we've done this part yet. When we click on menu, launch or close the menu, this part is done at least for the full screen. And we click on mute, and we need to toggle the mute status. And I'll add another one, which is when click on about, show the about browser. There we go. Show the about info. Okay, so what do I mean by that? So right now we have this working close and close menu, show the menu. This about doesn't do anything. And let's go to the console log. Do we have anything on the about? Okay, so we're sending an event called menu action with a payload of I can't see what this thing is. Payload, no such action handler, and we sent this. Maybe we just change that to no such and JSON stringify. Okay, that's a little better. So we have about, no such action handler. So do we have a function called about? So we have actions main, and we need an action for about. So about, I think we had something here before. Here, we'll grab this, put that here. So we return the new menu page about, and I'm not sure what's going to happen here. Let's try it out. Okay, message is required. So let's take a look into the menu page about. And this says add a control about div target. Okay, so we changed this spec to be send a message. And a message is a signal event, so we need an event, which is called menu action. And the payload will be a name of the action to take, which is well, in this case we're going back, so we're going back to main. Okay, so it should say hello about me. So let's see what happens here. Click on this, click on this. Okay, so something happened. Main is disposed, we got this. Okay, so we need to also do something to change the state in here, right? So when you clicked on about, these other things change the state. So main menu, so we expect these things to update the state. Okay. I see. We expect them to change the state. And therefore we shouldn't return anything then. Right? We should not return anything. These things return void. So we should, what does this thing do? This thing, Alright, so we're listening for a menu action. We change the state, and then we render control state to controls. So state to controls says, give me two pieces, the menu control and the browser control. Oh, this is where this thing, okay, so these are actions. These are, I guess, browsing functions. They should be browsing functions. Okay, so here's where it's getting a little tricky to understand. I might want to break these out into a couple of different classes here. Alright, so we have our state. Menu can be opened or not opened. You can be muted or not muted. You can be editing or not editing, and you can be browsing a particular area. Then we have a texture for the dynamic full screen GUI, and we don't have one yet for virtual reality because we probably will need 2 additional planes to manage that. We've got our scene. We've got scene manager. Okay, here's the initial state. Nothing's opened. Muted is true. Editing is false. Browsing main. And you listen for the camera ready. When the camera says I'm ready, then you create the full screen user interface, which creates the texture, and then we go ahead and render the current state. We also render this when we're exiting VR, and when we're entering VR, we do some cleanup, and then we listen for menu actions. So here, and then we re-render based on that. So whenever we get a message of menu action, I think we should prefix all those with action blank. Or pull all the actions into a function. Yeah, it might be good enough just to have this in a single switch statement even. Okay, so let's just do, so we're going to switch on this thing. And so we don't need that this needs a function, so we don't have that. So we're going to just switch on message payload name. And so if the message was, I think we should still have like action this, action that. Action close menu, action open menu. I think it should be better like that. Anyway, grab these. Okay, so we have this. So when case action close menu, then the state equals this, and then break. And in case action open menu, maybe I think it's fine. Open menu because it's got a verb. Just stay here and then break. And so if, yeah, that's fine. Alright, so that updates the state, and then you can go render it. When you go render it, you got to go render the browse. Okay, so then I think these parts are fine. Create render, adapt, control the state menu. And so we don't need these two anymore. I think those are probably fine. We need to maybe call this action name. Oh, that's fine. Menu action and then name. Okay. So this name would have been close menu or open menu. And then that's fine. And let's look in the main. So in the main, we have a link here. So instead of calling about, let's say it's go to about. All right, and then in menu manager, we got to process this function. Case go to about, then this state equal everything in this state plus the browsing, it becomes about. And the other one, oops, would be case go to main. Then you say this state equals everything about this state, and browsing becomes main. We got about, this is go to main. And let's see, go to about, go to main. About says go to main, and main said go to about. And then we in the main menu manager we have these functions which we can customize. All right, so we can open this, we go to about, yes, come back, yes, very cool. Now what happens? What about this toggle? This toggle kind of works. It doesn't allow you to click over here. And one second.